Welcome back, you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the tragic story of how former NBA All-Star Jayson Williams accidentally shot his limo driver and continues to pay the price for it to this day. Back in 1990, a promising young basketball player by the name of Jayson Williams was drafted 21st overall by the Phoenix Suns and would later be traded a couple of times before finally ending up on the New Jersey Nets in 1992. He would finally break out in 1998, where he would get his first All-Star selection and sign a 6-year, $90 million contract. But that's where his life and career starts to go downhill. The following year, Williams would break his leg after a collision with another basketball player, Stephon Marbury, that would ultimately be his last ever NBA basketball game. He underwent leg surgery and would officially retire the next season in 2000. Williams would go on to appear on TV and radio following his retirement until 2002, when tragedy struck. On February 12, 2002, Williams and his friends were out eating at a restaurant and have decided to continue partying and drinking back at Williams' house. The owner of the restaurant called a limousine driver, Gus Christophe, to take Williams' friends back to his house. After arriving at the mansion, a friend of Williams invited Gus into the mansion to party with them, and at this time, everyone except for Gus had been drinking. Due to Williams' big persona, he was putting on a show for everyone, and one thing that he did was showcase a shotgun that he had. Although Williams' intentions were to just show off this gun by quickly opening it and lowering the barrel, as soon as he closed the gun, 12 pellets were discharged and all of them hit Gus directly in the chest and instantly killing him. Jayson Williams and his friends then quickly tried to get rid of the evidence by wiping down the gun and disposing his clothes. He even jumped into the swimming pool. They all then tried to cover up the incident by trying to make it look like a suicide. They even rubbed Gus's fingerprints on the gun and told each other to report it as a suicide when the police came. And finally, when the police came, it was pretty obvious that it wasn't a suicide. They then took and detained everyone at the house and even tested Williams' blood alcohol levels. At a level above 0.1, Williams was then arrested and put on bail. 2 weeks after this incident, Williams' friends admitted that they tried covering up the shooting, and Williams was officially charged with tampering with police evidence. However, in June 2000, Jayson Williams pleaded not guilty to first-degree manslaughter charges even though his friends had testified against him. And because of this case would go on for years. Although a free man, Williams wasn't really free. In the following years, in 2009, Williams was stunned and tasered by police officers after reports of him becoming suicidal and violent in a hotel room. But things didn't get better for him. In January 2010, Williams was charged with a DWI for drinking and driving into a tree. Williams have explained that within those years, he became depressed and remorseful over the shooting of Gus Christophe. He used alcohol and sleeping pills as a means to escape his mental nightmares. The trial would finally conclude in February 2010. Williams would take a plea deal and be charged with a 5-year prison sentence with possibility of parole after 18 months for the shooting of Gus Christophe and obstruction of evidence. In addition to all of that, Williams were to serve 9 additional months in jail for his DWI charge. After his time in prison, after only serving 27 months, Jayson Williams would appear in countless interviews to express his remorse for what he had done. He took full responsibility for being a coward in covering up a shooting, and not a day that goes by that he doesn't look back to that moment and wish it had never happened. He's apologized to Gus's sister for what he had done, and although she forgave him, he never knew if she actually meant it or not. Jayson Williams would then explain how only after he destroyed himself could he really understand himself. He had spoken up about the mental effects that his experience have had on him, trying to inform the public about the power of alcohol addiction. He's taken his platform to not only express his remorse over the shooting, but to also use himself as an example on what not to do or be. He not only encourages people to read his story, but to also judge him on his actions. Jayson Williams have mentioned that my brain was the biggest and toughest prison that I've ever been in. From the interviews, you can see that no one will ever be as hard on Williams than he is to himself. He had taken another man's life and has to live with that for the rest of his life. This has always been a controversial topic because he only got 27 months of prison time for a manslaughter and cover-up, whereas an ordinary person might have gotten 20 years instead. His remorse over the years have led many fans to believe that a man can change and be forgiven for the sins of his past, while others believe that a crime such as taking a life will never be okay no matter what. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys like these type of basketball stories, be sure to subscribe and I'll catch you guys next time.